They say it takes 6 months to a year to start seeing SEO results. And you have to invest hundreds, if not thousands of hours to see results. But does it really have to be that way? Hey everyone, I'm Patel, and today I'm going to break down how much time you really need to invest in SEO with a new website that has no traffic. Before we get started, make sure you subscribe to this channel, and if you're on YouTube, click the alert notification. Look, you don't need to do hundreds of different things or spend hundreds, if not thousands of hours on SEO to start seeing results. I'm not telling you you're going to rank number one for terms like credit cards by putting in very little time, but you can start seeing results for keywords that aren't as competitive or long-tail key terms. And I'm going to break down what you need to do to start for a new website to start seeing results. And you can do this in a handful of hours each and every single week. When you're starting a new website, you need to be focused on creating authority in your space. This means creating lots of content and seeing how Google will respond to different topics that you approach. Watch your rankings over time, because if you pop out content, what you'll find is you'll either rank well or it won't. And some topics do well and some don't. And when you start ranking higher with keywords on certain topics, write more about those topics. Don't duplicate your content. So if you already had an article in the Beginner's Guide to Online Marketing, don't write the ultimate guide to online marketing for beginners, because that's pretty much the same thing. And if you've been writing content on keywords related to a topic that you haven't been able to rank for, go and focus on other topics that are working. I want you to look out for less competitive long-tail variations of head term keywords that are too competitive. So when you don't rank for a keyword, right, and you're just like, I tried to create all this content, not ranking for it, what I want you to do is go to Ubersuggest and put in that keyword. And when you click on the keyword ideas report, it'll show you other key terms that are more longer tailed that you could potentially target and create content around that and see what happens. And when you're on Ubersuggest, another thing that I want you to do is in the keyword ideas report, you have the ability to put in your domain name on the right side. And it'll show you keywords that you could potentially rank number one or on page one for. And this will filter the keywords so that way you're focusing on the right ones from day one. By now, once you've implemented some of these steps, you should be getting some traffic. And now I want you to start using Google Search Console, which funny enough connects with Ubersuggest. Now you don't need to do a lot of link building, but you need to see what pieces of your content are getting a lot of impressions and very little clicks. And what you want to do within Google Search Console is look at the keywords that are getting a lot of impressions and not enough clicks, and make sure you adapt your content to include those keywords, not just within your content, but within your title tag and your meta description. And by doing that, you're more likely to rank for some of those keywords that are getting tons of impressions, but not enough clicks, assuming that they're related to the content on your website and the services or products that you have to offer. A lot of people believe when you're doing this process, you need to continually build a lot of links. And that's not necessarily the case if you want to rank for long tail terms. Remember, these long tail terms really add up and can drive a lot of traffic. And becoming great at content creation should be your focus. So how much time does it take to do these activities? Well, content writing should be at least 4 hours per week. Just doing research and actually writing content will get you to roughly 4 hours a week. Now, keyword research, another 2 to 3 hours a month. And that'll get you all the keywords you can be targeting. And you can even create lists of these keywords within Ubersuggest. And that's a rough breakdown of where you can get started. Now, if you want a bonus tip on where you should spend some extra time, I would recommend going to Ubersuggest, putting in your URL, and looking at the site audit report. Look, if you have amazing content, if you have all these errors that prevent Google from crawling your website or indexing pages, how well do you think you're going to rank? Not well at all, right? Because no matter how great your content is, if they can't crawl it or understand it or navigate through your site in an efficient way, you're just not going to do that well. Now, this tip here in Ubersuggest, when you put in your URL and you look at the site audit report, this will tell you all the errors and what you need to fix. And the beautiful part is you don't have to do this every week, but just once a month, put in your URL and look at all the issues. And look at the issues from top to bottom. Because in Ubersuggest, it breaks down the issues that are hurting your rankings more than others that'll have the biggest impact. So in essence, it's breaking down the changes that you need to make that'll give you the biggest traffic increases that require the least amount of work. And then you just want to go down that list and do all of them and check it once a month, because as you publish new piece of content, sometimes, doesn't matter how good you are at marketing or even SEO, sometimes you just release new errors accidentally. And you want to just make sure that your site is buttoned up and you fix those, and the site audit report will help you. And within Ubersuggest, you can also create a project, and when you create a project, add the keywords that you're trying to track and you want to rank for, and it'll track those rankings for you, and it'll automatically run the site audit report errors for you, and then every week it'll tell you if there's new errors or if you've improved and give you an overall score, so that way you don't have to do any of this manually. If you enjoyed this video, like it, share it. If you have any questions, leave a comment below. If you want my team to just do all this for you, check out my ad agency, NP Digital. Thanks for your time.